There are seasons in life when everything seems to resist you. You try harder, pray longer, plan better, and still nothing moves. Doors remain closed, opportunities slip away, and even the things that used to work suddenly stop working. In those moments, it is easy to feel abandoned, confused, or even forgotten. But what if this season is not about failure? What if it is about what you need to do differently? When nothing is working, the first thing you must understand is that God does not waste seasons. Even silence has purpose, and even delays carry direction. Consider the story of Moses in Exodus chapters 2 through 4. Moses had a strong sense of purpose early in his life. He knew he was meant to help his people, but he acted impulsively and ended up killing an Egyptian. That decision forced him into hiding. For 40 years, he lived in the wilderness as a shepherd, far from the place he thought he was called to impact. From the outside, it looked like nothing was working. His purpose seemed lost, his influence gone, and his future unclear. But in Exodus 3:2, everything changed. The angel of the Lord appeared to him in a flame of fire from the midst of a bush. The burning bush was not just a miracle, it was a turning point. God called Moses back into purpose, but this time with preparation, clarity, and divine backing. The lesson here is direct. When nothing is working, step back and check your alignment. Moses had zeal, but he needed direction. Sometimes your efforts fail not because your purpose is wrong, but because your timing or method is off. So ask yourself quietly, am I moving with God or just moving fast? If that question hits something deep in you, drop a comment about it. Someone else might need that same realization. Now think about the story of Hannah in 1 Samuel chapter 1. Hannah desired a child deeply, but year after year, nothing happened. In a culture where motherhood was highly valued, this was not just painful, it was humiliating. She prayed, she wept, she hoped, but still, nothing changed. In 1 Samuel 1:10 it says, "She was in bitterness of soul and prayed to the Lord and wept in anguish." That is the reality of what it feels like when nothing is working. But something shifted. Hannah did not just pray for a child. She surrendered her desire to God completely. In verse 11, she made a vow, saying that if God gave her a son, she would dedicate him back to the Lord. And then in verse 19, the Lord remembered her. The lesson here is powerful. When nothing is working, deepen your surrender. Sometimes God is not just looking at what you want, but how willing you are to trust Him with it. Think about your own life. Is there something you are holding too tightly, something you have not fully released to God? What would it look like to truly surrender it? Then there is the story of the disciples during the storm in Mark 4:35-41. Jesus was with them in the boat, yet a violent storm arose. The waves crashed, the wind roared, and the boat began to fill with water. Despite all their experience, nothing they did could stabilize the situation. In verse 38, they cried out, "Teacher, do you not care that we are perishing?" This is what it feels like when nothing is working. Even with God in your life, things can feel out of control. But Jesus stood up and spoke to the storm, saying, "Peace, be still." Instantly, everything calmed. The lesson here is about awareness. When nothing is working, remember who is with you. The disciples had access to power, but they were focused on the storm instead of the presence. So here is a question to reflect on. In your current situation, are you more focused on the problem or on God's presence? That shift alone can change how you respond. Another powerful moment is found in 2 Chronicles 20, when King Jehoshaphat faced a massive army. The situation was overwhelming, and by every human calculation, defeat seemed certain. Nothing about the situation looked favorable. In verse 12, Jehoshaphat prayed, "We have no power against this great multitude, nor do we know what to do, but our eyes are upon you." That statement is honest and raw. It is what you say when nothing is working and you have run out of options. But instead of panicking, they worshiped. And as they began to praise, God set ambushes against their enemies. The battle was won without them even fighting in the usual way. The lesson is clear. When nothing is working, shift from panic to worship. Sometimes the breakthrough is not in doing more, but in trusting deeper. So consider this. When pressure rises, what is your first response? Is it fear or is it faith? Bringing all of this together, when nothing is working, do this. Pause and realign like Moses, ensuring you are moving in step with God. Surrender deeply like Hannah, releasing control and trusting God fully. Refocus your awareness, like the disciples, remembering that you are not alone in the storm. And choose trust over panic, like Jehoshaphat, allowing worship to replace fear. These are not just spiritual ideas. They are practical shifts that can change how you experience difficult seasons. Right now, wherever you are, take a moment to reflect. Which of these speaks most to your current situation? Are you being called to slow down, to surrender, to trust, or to shift your focus? When nothing is working, it does not mean everything is lost. It often means you are being guided into a different way of thinking, a deeper level of faith, and a stronger version of yourself. If this message connected with you, take a moment to share your thoughts in the comments. Your story could encourage someone else who feels stuck right now. And if you know someone going through a difficult season, share this message with them. Sometimes, the breakthrough begins the moment you stop forcing things to work and start listening for what God is trying to show you.